sweetie. Appreciate that. Greetings, mighty companions, and welcome to Practical and Healing Applications of A Course in Miracles with me, Anna Kajawa Quinn, and the Miraclettes here at the Rocky Mountain Miracle Center.
Strike a pose.
Strike a pose. All right. Well, let's start off with just a little opening meditation where we let go of our day. Just let it all go. Everything that's not happening right here, right now, let it go. Everything that we need for peace and healing and joy and inspiration is here right now, where we are. So let's tune our awareness like a dial on the radio to the frequency and the vibration of this moment now. Breathe it in and feel the power and the presence that abides in the now. Tune in to the now. Tune into the power and the peace of this holy instant now. Breathe it in. Turning our awareness inward and upward. Imagine your awareness of the presence in the present, expanding, extending from your heart to the heart of humanity, to the heart of earth. Feeling our one heart, aware of our one mind, tuned into our one self. We are one self, united with our Creator, one with every aspect of creation. We are complete. We are healed, and we are whole. Breathe and feel. Feel the power of the presence in the present moment. And to that presence and that power in the present moment, we say thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for your gifts to us. Thank you for the truth that does set us free. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And presence and spirit of truth, spirit of healing, be you in charge of this healing gathering. Be you in charge and decide for healing for us. Thank you. To that we say amen. All right. Hi, Todd. Welcome back. Calm down. in the workbook today. Hi Pam, hi Jean, lovely to see you both, you luscious mighty companions. Jean says she's arriving in Evergreen. Well, alrighty, that's amazing. Jean Michael arrived in Evergreen. Welcome back to the nap in Evergreen. Alright, so we're in workbook lesson number 107. I love this lesson. It's one of the most beautiful, powerful lessons. It's so beautiful. It's one that I use a lot, and it works every time that I work it. Just like everything in A Course in Miracles, it works every time that I work it. Every time that I use it, that I apply it, when I need it, it works. And that's one reason why I study A Course in Miracles after 38 years. Because it freaking works. It's the only thing that I have found to work that consistently. So, it's called Truth Will Correct All Errors in My Mind. Workbook lesson 107. Hi Tricia, lovely to see you. Okay, let me turn down the music. I got feedback yesterday that my music was very distracting. so, alrighty, here we go. Truth will correct all errors in my mind. What can correct illusions but the truth? And what are errors but illusions which remain unrecognized for what they are? So that's what a problem is. A problem is a cognitive distortion. A problem is an illusion. A problem is a misperception. A problem is an illusion. A problem is an illusion, a false belief that we don't recognize for being a false belief. And when I was reading this earlier, the phrase came to me, cognitive distortions. That's what I heard. Okay. Your errors, your problems are cognitive distortions. You are seeing something that ain't there, and what is there, you don't see. That's a cognitive distortion, a false belief, an illusion. All my errors are something that's not even true. All my errors are me believing something that's not even true. That's what my errors are. That's what my problems are. Good to know. But the problem is that I don't recognize it as a cognitive distortion. I don't recognize it as a false belief. I don't recognize it as a lie that I'm telling myself. I don't recognize it as that. And that's what an error is. Something that ain't true that I don't recognize as not true. That's what my errors are. That's what my problems are. Now, where truth has entered, errors disappear. Okay, that's pretty, period. Where the truth has entered, errors, problems disappear. What do you mean by they disappear? I don't understand. I mean, they vanish. That's what I mean. They merely vanish. That's what that means, to say they disappear. What we mean is that they vanish, leaving not a trace by which to even be remembered. When truth has entered, your problems, your errors, they just vanish. They just disappear. They don't even leave any trace by which you can remember them. Truth enters and you're like, what was I upset about? I know I was upset about something, but I don't even remember what I was upset about because there's no trace of them when truth enters. Wow, that's so powerful when truth enters. It's the ultimate problem be gone. Illusion be gone. Now, the problem is that I don't see my problems as an illusion. I see my problems as something that's real, something I can feel, something I can touch, something I can look at and be very upset about. I don't see my problem as an error. I don't see my problem as a lie that I am falling for. Okay? But when truth enters my mind, that this is just an illusion, this is just a deception, this is just a lie, this is just a false belief that you're believing, then your problems and your errors disappear, they vanish without a trace by even which to remember them. Dang, that's pretty amazing. I still don't understand. What do you mean they vanish? What do you mean they disappear? I mean, they're gone. Oh, they're gone. Why are they gone? Because without belief, your errors have no life. Without your belief, your errors have no life. Without your belief, your errors have no life. And so your errors disappear to nothingness, returning whence they came. Where did these problems come from? Nothingness. Okay. Where did that problem go? Back to nothingness. Alrighty. Okay. In other words, your problems, from dust to dust, they come and go because the only thing that ever remains is truth. What is the ultimate inevitable result or destination of all your problems? What is the inevitable end to all your problems? They vanish without a trace. That is the destiny of all your problems. Because only truth lasts forever. Nothing but truth lasts forever. So this problem, the first thing that you want to tell yourself, it's an error based on a cognitive distortion, a lie I'm telling myself, and they're gonna go. So they're gonna go. Sooner or later, they're gonna go. So this is temporary. The first thing we want to tell ourselves is this is not true. It's based on a lie, and eventually it's gonna go. It's gonna be gone. So why not just enjoy yourself right now? This problem's gonna be gone. This problem is temporary because only truth lasts forever. So you could be enjoying yourself right now. You could just be like, well, it's gonna be temporary. It's gonna be gone because it's an illusion. It's an error. So I think I'm just gonna have a good time. I think I'm just gonna enjoy myself. Since this is just a lie, it's not true, and it's gonna be gone sooner or later.
Amen.
Hallelujah. Okay. You want to tell yourself that when you are experiencing a problem. This problem is an error. Just even that association is a miracle. Even just that association will make that problem disappear sooner than later. Because when we've got a problem, how often do we go, this error that I'm dealing with today, we don't call it an error. We call it a problem. We don't call it an error. We don't go, look at this error that I'm experiencing today. This funny error that really seems big and scary to me today. We don't call it an error. We call it a problem. And instead of calling it an error, an illusion that's going to go eventually, we call it a problem, and then we look for who is responsible, who needs to change for that problem to be gone. That's how I think my problems are going to vanish. I'm going to find who is responsible for them. I'm going to blame them. I'm going to give them some guilt so that they will change so that I can be happy. That's my plan. That's my genius plan. That's my most brilliant problem-solving approach. Thank you very much. I have developed it over all these years. I'm so proud of it. It hasn't worked one time yet, but since it's mine, I love it. And I'm going to keep doing it, even though it doesn't work. So next time I'm experiencing a problem, the first thing I want to do is I want to call it an error. My error that's given me terror. Errors give you terrors.
A self-made concept.
It's a self-made concept. Something we made up to frighten ourselves. Something we made up to make ourselves feel guilty. Something we believed that would make us feel bad about ourselves forevermore. And then we die. All right. So that's paragraph 1. Now, it asks this very interesting question of us, okay? It's going to ask us a question. Can you imagine what a state of mind without errors, without illusions is? Okay. Well, how would a state of mind with no problems without any errors feel? How would it feel? Very good question. I have no idea. Okay, well then try to remember when there was a time, perhaps a minute, maybe even less than a minute, maybe like 30 seconds, when nothing came to interrupt your peace. Try to remember a time when you were certain you were loved and certain you were safe. So let's close our eyes and do what it said. Let's try to remember a minute or even less when nothing came to interrupt your peace, when you were certain you were loved and when you were certain you were safe, even if it was only a few moments. Try to remember that. Beautiful. Then try to picture what it would be like to have that moment be extended to the end of time, which means to eternity. And then let the sense of quiet that you felt in that moment be multiplied 100 times, and then let it be multiplied another 100 more times. And now you have a hint, not more than just the faintest intimation of the state that your mind will rest in when truth has come into your mind. Whew, okay.
Amen.
All right about that. Now there's a creative visualization. There's a good guided meditation experience.
Freedom.
Exactly. I mean, you take that few moments when you felt certain you were safe and loved, where nothing came to disturb your peace of mind, and you imagine that moment extending to the end of time and to eternity. Then let the sense of quiet you felt be multiplied 100 times, and then be multiplied 100 more. And after that multiplication of that peaceful moment, you still only have a hint.
And no problem?
Yeah, no problems, no, just peace. Nothing came to disturb your peace. And you multiply that 100 times, and multiply that 100 more times, and another 100 more times. You multiply and imagine that peace of mind extending to the end of time, and you still only have a hint.
You don't have to be a billionaire.
Yeah, exactly. You still only have a hint. And that's exactly what you hear people who have experienced near-death experiences will tell you. They will tell you, well, I felt a peace that I cannot describe. I could never describe it if I spent the entire rest of my life trying to describe it. Because you can't. Because the peace that you experience when the truth comes into your mind is 1,000,000 times greater than your highest moments, greatest moments of peace. Dang. And do you have to die to experience that? That's what happens when truth comes into your mind. Dang. Wait a minute. Truth brings that experience? I'll have to die to experience that? Truth brings that? Okay. You mean I got something at my ready, in my hot little hands, that can bring that kind of peace? I wonder why I don't allow the truth to come into my mind more. Given all that. It's curious, huh? I wonder, why I would not do what it takes to allow that kind of peace of mind to come to me without having to die.
I value specialness more.
Oh, I value specialness more than truth. Ah, yes. Bouncer, get this guy out of here. There has to be something I value more than that kind of state of mind of bliss without having to die. I must value something more than that. And what could it be? The Course in Miracles tells us, what is this thing that you lavish so much much of your devotion to day and night, nothing that it needs, will you deny it? What is it that this precious pearl that you lavish all your attention on besides truth? What is it? It's specialness. It's what I can get and make and change so that I have something for myself, something more, something less for myself. Whew, that's deep. Okay, well, good to know. Good to know, because we need to know what is it that we're telling ourselves is more valuable than the truth that can bring that kind of peace of mind and make all our problems vanish, disappear, be gone. Return to the dust they came from. You need to know what it is that you're valuing more than that, so that you can go, that's crazy. that's insane. I don't want to value illusions and suffering more than the truth that can bring my mind to that kind of peace. I don't want to do that anymore. All right. Beautiful. Questions or comments before going on to paragraph 3? All right, ready to go on? Juicy stuff. Okay, paragraph 3. Without illusions, without lies, without cognitive distortions, without false beliefs, there could be no fear. Without lies, without cognitive distortions, without false beliefs, there could be no doubt. And without lies and self-deceptions, there could be no attack. So if I wasn't deceiving myself, if I wasn't lying to myself, if I wasn't having cognitive distortions, then there would be no fear, no doubt, and no attack. So all that stuff, fear, attack, and doubt, that all comes from something I'm telling myself that is not true. All of it, all attack, all doubt, all fear, is all coming from what I'm telling myself that isn't true. That's so deep that all my suffering is literally based on something that ain't even true, never was true, never will be true. All my suffering and all the suffering of everybody else is based on something that never was true, and never could be true, never will be true. That's deep. Wait a minute, because that would mean that I'm suffering for nothing. And that would mean I am suffering for nothing. That's deep, because I don't want to believe that. I want to believe my suffering is for something.
Yeah.
Please don't tell me that I'm suffering for nothing. You know, it's like going to war for nothing. You know, it's like going to war, losing your limbs, come back all broken and shattered, and then you learn that the reason you went to war was so we could get oil. You're like, what? I went through all that suffering for nothing? Nothing of real value? You know, that's deep. But it's motivating, you know, to learn that your suffering is for nothing. You're suffering over nothing. That's motivation to stop doing it, to stop doing it, to stop suffering over nothing. It's motivation. All right, to stop going to war for nothing, to stop fighting, to stop conflicting with others for nothing. Why am I fighting? Oh, you know you're fighting for over nothing right now. You know that, right? You know you're fighting for nothing, right? And there's not going to be no gain, but there will be a lot of strifes. There will be a lot of loss. There will be strife and there will be loss. Wow. So, interesting concept. We always fight over nothing. Isn't that deep? You know, because we've been given the illusion, you know, we're fighting for something. We're fighting for freedom and the American way. We're fighting for justice and democracy for all, right? We believe that we're fighting for something. But you don't have to fight for truth. What's true doesn't need any fight. You don't have to fight over what's true. You don't need to fight to prove truth. You don't need to fight to defend truth. You don't need to fight to defend your truth. My truth, my identity, my truth requires no defense at all. As a matter of fact, when I defend myself and I go to fight, I've absolutely lose sight of my true power and my true identity. Damn, that is like, to the part of me that loves to fight. Anybody recognize, anybody aware of the part of them that loves to fight? Yeah, okay, thank you very much. Aries moon here. I hadn't had a good fight in a long time. Come on. Come on. Let's fight over nothing. Come on. I don't value my peace right now. Come on. Let's fight over nothing. Again. Because I don't value peace of mind. As a matter of fact, you know, my ego's hungry for a fight. Because that's the only thing the ego lives on. The ego can't live without fighting. Ego can't live without fighting. And so when I have not been fighting because I've been valuing peace of mind, my ego gets very hungry. And what happens to beings when they get hungry?
Cranky.
They get real cranky. They get real mean. Well, you know, hear the term hangry? I'm hangry.
They start looking in the cupboard.
Yeah, for grievances, for a fight. They start, you know, cruising for a cruising. You know, it's like, you know, the ego, when the ego's hungry, it's like, you know, oh, I'm ready for a fight. Come on, just anybody. Come on, over anything, over nothing, I don't care. You know, when something gets hungry, they get angry, hangry. Okay. All right. So, paragraph 3. Oh, yeah. Paragraph 3 we read, without my addiction to conflict, without my illusions, without my self-deceptions, there could be no fear, there could be no doubt, and there could be no attack. That's the same as to say that when truth has come, all pain is over. Whew, wait. Why don't I remember this more? I'll tell you what, I have been studying this for so long. When truth has come, all pain is over. Why? Because when truth has come, there is no room. Bye, sweetie. It's wonderful to have you here.
Thanks.
When truth has come, all pain is over, because when truth has come, there's no room for transitory thoughts and dead ideas to linger in your mind.
Wow.
Whoo-hoo. He just called all my attack thoughts and all my conflicting thoughts and all my problems as transitory thoughts, dead ideas that are lingering in my mind. That's what it just called all my thoughts. All my thoughts where I'm like, I need to defend myself. There's a problem here. I need to fight to defend myself and my truth and blah, blah, blah. Those are transitory thoughts, dead ideas that are lingering in my mind. And so, but when truth comes, truth occupies your mind completely. And when truth occupies your mind completely, then truth liberates you from all beliefs in the ephemeral, which is the superficial, which is the temporary. That's what truth does when truth comes into your mind. It occupies your mind completely. It liberates you from all beliefs in the superficial. All beliefs in the superficial, all beliefs that are temporary, they have no place when the truth has come. And then all those dead ideas and transitory thoughts, they are nowhere. Then now they can't be found, because truth is everywhere, forever now. When truth has come, and when it's not like, oh, when is truth going to come? It's when you allow truth to come, when you invite truth to come, when you want truth more than your grievance. That's when truth comes. Well, this grievance is really been a big pain in my butt, and I didn't win, and I didn't gain, and I actually lost a lot, so I think that I'm going to try some truth now. So I'm going to call on truth. Truth. I invite you back into my mind. Okay? That's when truth comes into your mind. When you've had enough of the suffering that your illusions, that your dead ideas have brought to you. An illusion is a dead idea and a transitory thought that brings with it only suffering, only pain, only conflict. And when we get tired of it and invite the truth in, that's when the truth comes. Yes?
And to tie this to yesterday's lesson, it's when we're willing to hear only one voice, to hear only the one voice. We had a long discussion about how Jesus got to the point where he was listening to only one voice.
Exactly.
He didn't have room. It's basically describing here. He didn't have room for all the other bullshit.
Exactly. That's exactly when you learn how to listen to only one voice, the voice of truth, then there is no room for the dead ideas. Isn't that a great description for ego thoughts? And the ego itself, it's a dead idea. It's a dead idea. It's just lingering in your mind. But when the truth comes, you're listening to only one voice, there is no room for the ego, the dead ideas. Okay? And then when the dead ideas, called the ego, are gone, so do all the effects of those dead ideas. They're gone with them. Isn't that great? When the ego thoughts are gone, then all that the ego thoughts brought are also, they vanished, they disappear, they're gone. I love those three descriptors of what happens to the dead ideas, the ego thoughts, when you allow the truth to come into your mind, listen, and you listen to only one voice. It disappears, they vanish, they're gone. Just like that. Poof. Yes.
So this is why you talk about sometimes just listening to the Course, even as you're falling asleep, even when you're don't think you're paying attention.
Yes.
It is processing in there.
Exactly.
To start taking. Okay.
Exactly. And when I'm upset, I will just put on the Course and just listen, because that is me saying, truth, come into my mind. Truth, all I want is you in my mind. Because I'm tired of the suffering that I have been experiencing with my dead ideas, called the ego. Yes, exactly. And I'm telling you, it works. It's like I can be in the worst mood, and then I just put on the Course, and don't try to sit there and think about what I'm listening to. The next thing I know, I'm like, what was I upset about? That's how it goes, because I allow truth to come into my mind. And it says, when truth has come, all pain is over. Because now there's no room for dead ideas to linger in my mind and to make me suffer. Wow. Now, it said, and I love it where it says that the dead ideas cannot be found because truth is everywhere, forever now, when truth has come. Beautiful. Now, here's something to know about when truth comes. When truth comes into your mind, paragraph 4. When truth has come, truth doesn't stay a little while to disappear or change to something else. When truth has come, truth doesn't shift and alter in its form. Truth doesn't come and go to come again. Truth stays exactly as it always was, which means to be depended on in every need and trusted with a perfect trust in all the seeming difficulties and all the doubts which the appearances the world presents engender. All the difficulties and doubts will merely blow away when truth corrects the errors in your mind. This is why I study A Course in Miracles right here. This is absolutely why I study A Course in Miracles, because it is true. It's like I was having a meditation tonight, and I had such an overwhelming feeling of gratitude. I felt tears coming to my eyes, and the feeling was, it is true. It really is true. And the Course in Miracles says that's the last perception you will ever have. You'll go, the truth is true. And then it says, and when you have that awareness in full, the world as you know it will, just like a carpet behind you, roll up and disappear. You know, so powerful. All the doubt and difficulties which the appearances of the world presents, they will merely blow away when truth corrects the errors in your mind. So that's all we need. That's all we need. That's the only problem-solving strategy that we need. We need truth. What's my problem? I was valuing something besides truth. I wasn't welcoming truth. And you know, what's the answer? I ask truth to come. I value truth. I give myself truth even if I'm not in a good mood. And then my doubts and my difficulties and my anger and my pains, they disappear. They're gone. The ultimate problem-solving strategy that ever will be found on this earth. That. Whew. It's like, why is this room not full to the ceiling rafters? You know, it's so amazing. It's so amazing. But like you're saying, there's something else that we value more than peace. There's something else we value more than peace. All right. But when you don't have peace of mind, you know that there's nothing more valuable than peace, right? When you don't have peace of mind, you know there's nothing more valuable than peace of mind. You know, when you're sick in your mind, you remember that there's nothing more valuable, nothing more precious than peace of mind. Because when you have peace of mind, you have everything. And even if you have everything in the world, all the power, fame, money, physical pleasure in the whole world, but you don't have peace of mind, you don't have anything. You can't enjoy one lick of it if you don't have peace of mind. You can have all the power, fame, money, and physical pleasure in the world, but if you don't have peace of mind, you can't enjoy it. You can't appreciate it. All right. Now, when truth, paragraph 5.
I feel a Jerry coming on.
Do you feel a Jerry coming on? I think I feel a Jerry coming on too. Hi, Bridget. I love it. Jerry, what a coincidence. We were just feeling you coming on, and then you came on through. Jerry's like Norm and Cheers. Norm, Jerry.
Norm.
You guys remember Cheers, where every time Norm walked in, they all went, Norm. We do that with Jerry. Jerry. All right. And Tricia says, play the chorus like air you breathe.
I like that.
Exactly. You've spoken from somebody who knows the saving power of the truth. You know, it's like Greg used to tell me when he first came to the course that it was like when he would come to the course class, it was like he could breathe again, like he was getting air, like he was coming up for air. You know, and that because only truth saves. Only truth saves.
Well, I was pulling weeds the other day and I got a category 4 asthma attack, which is really bad. And so I turned on one of your and Greg's videos. And by the time I got done watching the video, my breathing had returned to normal.
Okie dokie. Thank you for that testimony, Jerry. See? Thank you for that
Told you I
testimony.
had a Jerry coming on.
See, he did. Before you walked in, he said, I feel a Jerry coming on. And everybody's like, what's that?
Because normally it takes like 2 days and like
Yes.
3 breathing treatments to get back to normal.
That is a miracle. I know. I used to have asthma. And I was in the hospital many times with asthma. And so to hear you say that just after watching one class, your breathing returned to normal, that's a beautiful testimony to what
Yeah,
you're
it kept on
talking
getting
about.
better and better all the time. And by the time the thing was over, I was breathing normal.
Amazing. Thank you for sharing that witness, that testimony. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what we're saying. The truth, I mean, what does it say? It says, you know, that it says, when truth has come, all pain is over. It's that all pain. All pain. Not just some of it, but all of it. Dang. Which would have to mean that all of my problems and all of my suffering is because of an absence of truth. That's what that has to mean. If when truth comes, all my pain goes, that has to mean that all my pain and my suffering is because I chose something and valued something besides the truth. I wanted something besides the truth. I wanted to be right. I wanted to win. I wanted to get. I wanted to judge, because I love to judge. It's like worse than heroin and nicotine put together. Hi, my name is Anna, and I am a judgment addict. but I've suffered enough, and I'm inviting truth to come back into my mind. All right. Okay, so paragraph 5, and thank you for sharing. Yes, I have to move closer to my. Tricia says I need to move closer to my tribe. Is this close enough? Let's turn up the sound. Okay, beautiful. Tricia says Jerry healing going on in the lungs.
Thank you.
That's what Trish said. He said thank you. It's beautiful. Okay, all right, Trish, well come on down. Come on over. Okay, paragraph 5. When truth has come, truth harbors in its wings the gift of perfect constancy. When truth has come, it harbors in its wings a love which does not falter in the face of pain. How'd you like to experience that? A love that does not falter in the face of pain. But when truth comes, it harbors in its wings a love that looks beyond the pain, steadily and sure. And here is the gift of healing when truth has come. Because the truth needs no defense, which means, therefore, that no attack is possible when truth has come. When truth has come into your mind, no attack is possible and no defense is needed at all. So you know, if there's some attack going on and you feel a need to defend yourself, you know that means you haven't allowed truth in your mind. You don't have truth in your mind right now. Because you're listening to something else. You're listening to the wrong voice that doesn't speak for truth. So if you're defending yourself and you feel attack anywhere within you or someone else, it's because you have not invited truth to come. Because when truth does come into your mind, it harbors a love that doesn't falter in the face of pain. So you don't have to defend yourself, you don't have to attack. Love doesn't need that. Truth doesn't need that. Wow. Now, illusions, which are your errors, which are your problems, can be brought to truth to be corrected. Good to know. But the truth itself stands far beyond your illusions, your errors, and truth cannot be brought to your errors to turn your errors into truth. Okay? So you can bring your errors to the truth to be corrected, but you can't bring truth to your errors. Yeah, that's what we're trying to do. I'm trying to bring the Course in Miracles to my errors. I'm trying to use the Course to make real my illusions, my errors. I'm trying to cite the truth to save my ego's lies. Instead of bringing my lies, my errors, my problems to the truth to be corrected. I want the truth to validate my grievances. You ever experience that? Where somebody's using the Course to hold a grievance with you, and that's what we're doing too. They're doing it to us because that's what we do to them. Citing truth to save our grievances our lies. So you can bring your ego's lies, your illusions to the truth to be corrected, but you can't bring the truth to the grievances to make them real. Okay, good to know. Says, and you can say it again about truth and how it's perfectly constant. Truth does not come and go, nor shift and change, which means truth doesn't come in this appearance now and then in that appearance, evading capture and escaping grasp. Okay. That's how we perceive love, right? This is how we perceive. I'm going to describe how we see love: shifting, changing, in this appearance now, then in that. Love evading capture, love escaping our grasp. You ever experienced love like that? That's all we've experienced love like. I don't know of love that's perfectly constant and never falters in the face of pain. Have you? Yeah. Because what we've made of love is not constant. Okay? But truth is not something that comes and goes and changes forms and invades your capture and invades your grasp. Truth is something that is constant. That's so good to know. So you don't have to worry that truth is going to come and then the next day, oh, I lost it. Truth came, it was so wonderful, and then, and the next day sucked. And then it went. Truth is not something that comes and gives you a great day and then leaves you the next day. You know. Neither is love, by the way. So whatever it is that you think came and then left you the next day, that wasn't love. That wasn't truth. Anything that you feel like, oh, I gotta get it before it leaves, oh, it's eluding my grasp, that ain't love. That ain't truth. Truth is constant, never changing, never wavering in the face of pain.
So clarification, so if in my perception it left, my experience of truth left the day
Yes.
after, as you
Yes.
were saying, is one explanation for that either that I may have actually been experiencing the truth, but now I've chosen to listen to another
Yes.
voice again,
Exactly.
and the truth is now vanished from my mind.
Exactly. But not because it left you.
Right. It's
Yeah.
just my awareness of it has.
Your awareness.
Exactly. So, yeah, so when you experience truth as being there and getting all the joy and the release and the problems disappear, and then it seems to be gone the next day, it's not that the truth left, it's not that the love left, it's just that we chose to listen to another voice, and our awareness was not, the truth was not in our awareness.
And you'll still experience the effects as if it's not there, right?
Exactly.
Like before.
Exactly, that's exactly right. When you value the other voice and the other thing besides truth, which is an illusion, something that's an illusion, then you'll experience all the effects. All the effects will seem to come back.
Because what I'm still having to remind myself frequently is that my perceptions, which are variable,
Yes,
stand between the truth
yes.
and love and my experience of what's going on.
Exactly.
I may have correct perceptions on one day and actually experience love and experience truth.
Yes. And then the next day, listen to a different voice, and all
Because
the
my
good seems to be gone.
perceptions have
Right.
shifted.
But-
They're not
Exactly.
constant.
And it's a very important point that you're bringing up, because what we need to know, what we need to remember is that it wasn't truth that left me. Because we're tempted to go, well, it was so wonderful, but then the next day sucked, so that, so the truth really isn't true. Or the truth doesn't really mean what it says. Because I called on truth and got miracles, but then the next day I had a bad day. So the truth must not be true. The truth must not mean what it says. So I'm just going to stop studying A Course in Miracles. Not realizing that actually the truth that you invited is constant. and it's eternal. And so it's effects. They're never gone anywhere. You know, they're still there. You know, I'm just not aware. They're still there. The love is still there. The truth is still there. All the gifts, all the results of the truth still there. I'm just not aware.
So, like one of the lessons in the 70s or the late 60s, talk about the clouds of guilt or the clouds of grievances that I've brought back between my perception of the truth and where I am in those meditation exercises.
And that's what the Course calls them also as clouds, vaporous illusions, in which you can see an entire world emerging that doesn't exist. Yeah, beautiful, beautiful. Anything else? Okay, so it says, truth doesn't hide. Truth stands in open light. Truth stands in obvious accessibility. So the whole like, I'm seeking truth, I'm on a search for truth, I've been looking for truth all my life. Well, truth isn't hiding, right? Truth is like, I'm here, I'm right here, I haven't gone anywhere, you don't have to look far, you don't have to get a plane ticket to Tibet. I'm right here. Okay? And that's why it is impossible that anyone could seek for truth, truly, and would not succeed. Because truth is right here in obvious accessibility. It's not hiding, it's standing in open light, right here, right now. So if you ain't finding it, you ain't looking. That's the truth about truth, okay? So you don't have to go, it says, I love it, so it's impossible that anyone could seek it truly and not succeed. That's what's the workbook lesson? No one can fail who seeks to reach the truth. No one can fail who seeks to reach the truth. Because truth is not hiding. I love that. And so today, in paragraph 7, it says, I love it, Ingrid says, Dogger is watching. I love it. My dog or your dog? I love it. And hi, Anne. Lovely to see you. And beautiful. So it says, today belongs to truth. Okay, what does that mean? That means give truth its due, and truth will give you your due. Give truth its due, and truth will give you your due. Now, what's your due? What do you do? Okay, what are you entitled to? Okay, well, it's like this: you were not meant to suffer and to die. That's what is your due. Oh, really? Okay, wow. Never heard that before, A Course in Miracles. Never heard that before. You know, you give truth its due, truth will give you your due, and what your due is you were never meant to suffer and to die. Who knew? Who knew? I thought that was my destiny. Okay? And then that's what we learned as children, you know, that life is a bitch and then you die. That's it, right? Who in the world, where in the world have we not learned that lesson? Life's a bitch and then you die. Which is the same as saying you were meant to suffer and you're meant to die. So just to see if you can have a good time in the meanwhile. But listen, if you believe that you were meant to suffer and to die, then the best you could do is just have a little fun occasionally trying to forget about the fact that you were meant to suffer and to die. That's the best you can do. If you were meant to suffer and meant to die, if it is true that life is a bitch and then you die, then the best you could do is try to have a little bit of fun on the weekends and try not to get arrested before Monday comes and you have to go back to suffering, right? So this is something, the truth is something that is telling us you were not meant to suffer and die. That is not natural, that is not normal, that is not your destiny. That is not what our Creator created to be our lot in life. That is not the nature of reality. The nature of reality is not suffering. You know, like the Buddhists tell us, life is suffering. Oh, wonderful, but have a nice day. Life is suffering, but have a nice day. Okie dokie. If life is suffering, then, you know, then how could you not be depressed? How could you not be anxious all the time, except for those few moments when you drown your sorrows out and numb yourself out and call it a good time, call it a vacation? So, it says you were not meant to suffer and to die. Your Creator wills suffering and death, dreams begun. That's what our Creator wants for us. That is what our Creator wills for us. That is our true due. That's our true due. That's our due. Our true due. D-U-E. Wow.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah is right. Oh my God. Who knew, right? That is the opposite of what we all learned as humans. Not just Jews, not just Christians, not just Muslims. We all learned that life's a bitch and then you die. We all learned that. And it was never true. And it was never true. It was never true. That's not our Creator's will for us. You know, that came from something else besides love's will, besides God's will for us. That is not natural. That is not the way of life. So, how about this? How about let truth correct those errors? What errors? The belief that I was meant to suffer and then to die. Let truth correct those errors. Let truth correct that error. Okay, so what do? We go, God, please correct that erroneous belief in my mind that I learned that life's a bitch and then you die, and that's what is my due. That's my lot in life, along with all the other humans. Please correct that belief, God. I ask you to correct that error in my mind. That is natural to suffer and die, and that that's my Creator's will for me. I ask for the correction of that belief. It's an erroneous, false belief that I learned a long time ago from people who learned the same lie a long time ago, from people who learned it a long time ago. And I ask for the correction of that error. Thank you, truth. Thank you, Spirit. Okay. Let truth correct all those errors. Now, when we're asking truth to correct the error that we were meant to suffer and die, we're not asking for what we don't have. We're merely asking for what belongs to us so that we may recognize it as our own. So when you say, please correct my error that I was meant to suffer and die, please correct that error, you're not asking for something you don't have. You're asking to recognize what you already have. When you say, I want peace, when you say, I want truth to correct all the errors of suffering and guilt and loss in my mind, you're not like, oh, please, may I have some, God? When you're asking for peace, you're not asking for something you don't have. Oh, God, please, may I have some peace? Oh, God, please, may I have some abundance? Oh, God, please, may I have some forgiveness? I promise I'll be good. No, when you're asking God for peace and truth and healing and freedom, you're just asking for what you already have. You're asking for what's already been given you, created for you as a child of God. You're asking only to be aware of what you already have, what you've already been given. How beautiful is that? And of course, the miracle says, you want to know the real secret of success? You know, the real secret to success in any endeavor? Ask for what you already have. Oh, never thought to do that. Because if you ask for what you already have, how could you lose? Oh, so I'm suffering and experiencing loss because I'm asking for something that I don't already have. Right? I'm not asking for what I already have. Suffering is I'm asking for something I don't have already. And that's what we learned in all of our religious institutions. You know, that, you know, when you pray to God, you say, please God, may I have some mercy, or may I have some peace, or may I have some forgiveness. That's the way we all learned how to pray to God. And God's like, I already gave you all the love, all the peace, all the joy, all the mercy. I've already forgiven you. I don't see there's anything to forgive. I don't need to forgive you, right? And so we're like, you know, praying to God, thinking we're asking for something we don't have, as if we, you know, weren't already given it and don't already deserve it. Oh, please, God, may I have some peace, may I have some joy, may I have some forgiveness. And Course in Miracles is teaching us about a completely 100% opposite idea about God. That God is only love, and God is hiding nothing, and God has given all of God's creation everything that God is and everything that God has. No earning, no conditions, and God gives it equally, and God gives it forever, and God never takes it back. That's what A Course in Miracles teaches us about God. That God is only love, and God has already given itself to everyone forever. No takebacks.
Like the Catholic growing up, it's like if you prayed, you had to intercede, have all the saints intercede for you. Plus, you had to believe that you're bad, that maybe God would grant your prayer
Yes,
or not.
thank you. So Jerry is saying that that what he learned in his Catholicism was that you had to pray for all of God's intermediaries to intercede for you, and that you had to acknowledge that you were bad, and then maybe God would grant you.
It was like, you know, who are you that you think you could
Exactly.
pray to God by yourself? You know.
Yes, exactly. So you need intermediaries to intercede for you, and then you have to acknowledge your unworthiness before maybe God will grant you whatever you're praying for.
But God might be too busy this time, so
Yes.
you'll have to
God may be too busy.
try next time.
Yeah. Like the 8 ball, you know. Uncertain, try again later. But that is what we all learned about God, whether we learned it through Judaism, Islam, Christianity, even Buddhism that doesn't really believe in God, but still they have the belief that life is suffering, you know, which means that whatever is the source of life decided that you deserve to suffer and to die, you know. So, all right. And now we understand why our planet seems poised on the brink of freaking destruction. Because of this core belief that humanity has been conditioned to. You know, if you really believe that, then how could you not be depressed, anxious, and pissed off? You know, the people who feel deprived are very mean.
And everybody's carrying around someone's guilt by the time they're 10 years old. They
Exactly.
ready to give up on.
And everybody, you know, by the time they're 10 years old is carrying so much guilt. And what comes from guilt?
Punishment.
Punishment. The Course in Miracles says guilt is an unconscious request for punishment. And so what we're seeing in the world is all the ways that we are attracting punishment to ourselves in the belief that we're guilty, and the only way you atone for your guilt is to accept your punishment. That's what we all have learned. It doesn't matter what religion we were brought up in. Dang, no wonder the world is poised on the brink of extinction. That's why. And so that's why what we do here in remembering a different idea is so important to the healing of mankind and the restoration of the earth. You know, we are the ones reminding humanity, you're not guilty. You don't deserve to suffer and to die. Death and suffering is not natural. There is something else that is natural, that is real, that's already here. You don't have to earn it. All you have to do is want it and invite it, and it's called love, and it's called truth. And what is truth? Truth is love. That's what's true. Well, all right. Bridget says, we believe we are something other than what God created. We believe we are guilty, born in sin. LOL. I love that. Let's remember, what does the Course in Miracles say about how this crazy dream of punishment and suffering and death, how did it all come into being? That a tiny, insane idea crept into the mind of God's creation that the creation of God forgot to laugh at. The crazy idea crossed our mind and we forgot to laugh at it. And the crazy idea was, you were meant to suffer and die, life is suffering, and life's a bitch, and then you die. That's the tiny, insane idea that we forgot to laugh at. And we're still forgetting to laugh at it. We're still like, right? We still haven't gotten the joke yet. We're getting there, and it helps when we're remembering it together. It helps when we're studying this together to laugh at the tiny mad idea together. When we look at it together, it's friggin' hilarious. When we're looking at it by ourselves, very scary, very serious. All right, that belief in sin. Bridget says, love and truth. Beautiful. Okay, so that was paragraph 7. How are we doing on time? Okay, great. All right, so paragraph 8. So today, we practice on the happy note of certainty, which has been born of truth. The shaky and unsteady footsteps of illusions, of lies that we told ourselves, are not our approach today. We are as certain of success as we are sure we live and hope and breathe and think. Ah. We do not doubt, in other words, we do not doubt that we walk with truth today. And how do we do that? How do we not doubt that we walk with truth today? We're going to count on truth to enter into all the exercises that we do this day. So how do we practice everything we've just been talking about? Now it's telling you how to practice these ideas. It told you the truth. Now it says, here's how to practice it. Here's how to use it throughout your day. You walk with truth today, and you count on truth to enter in with you to all of your exercises. So in other words, you're going to call to truth, you're going to count on truth, you're going to give your faith to truth, you're going to ask for truth, you're going to call on truth today. No matter what's going on, you're going to ask for truth. When you're upset, you're going to say, truth, I ask you to enter into my mind and correct all my errors that are upsetting me. Truth, what is the truth in this situation that would set me free? We've all heard the phrase, know the truth and the truth shall set you free. Okay? And so that's what this is saying, is that that's true. When you know the truth does set you free. Okay? Now first it may piss you off, but it will set you free. But that means that you have to call on it. Truth is like love. Truth is not going to force itself on you like fear does. Truth is not going to force itself on you like guilt does. Okay? Truth, even though it sets you free, it makes your errors and your problems disappear, dissolve, and be gone. But you have to ask for it, because it's just like love. It waits on invitation. Okay? All right. And so that's how we exercise this idea. We ask for it. And so how do we do that? How do we use this idea? How do we ask for truth? Well, we begin by asking love, who goes with us upon this undertaking, that love be in our awareness as we go with love, as we go with spirit, as we go with God. You are not made of flesh and blood and bone, but you were created by the self-same thought which gave the gift of life to God as well. Everyone is your brother and sister, and they are so like to you that your Creator knows that you are both the same. Oh, that's very different than what I was thinking about others today. I was not thinking that that they are so like to me that our Creator sees us as one and the same. Okay, that's not what I was thinking about other people today. Right, but this is a big improvement. Paragraph 10. It is yourself, it is your true self you are asking to go with you today. And how could your true self be absent where you are? Truth will correct all errors in your mind. I'll say it again. Truth will correct all errors in your mind. And what is an error in my mind? An error in my mind is an idea in my mind that's telling me that I could be apart from God, that I could be apart from love, that I could be apart from all life. You speak to love today, and you make your pledge to let love's function be fulfilled through you. Oh, that's a great way to practice. I'm going to speak to love today, and I'm going to pledge to let love's function be fulfilled through me. Hey, love, I would like for you to do your thing through me today. Because I love what you do, love. I love what you do, truth. Truth, I pledge to let you fulfill your function of loving and healing through me today. That's all I want to do today. I just want to let love do what love does through me today. And how beloved are you going to be to the world, to the people around you, when your function is to let love do its thing through you? How do you think the world and people are going to respond to you? They're going to be very happy that you came to the party. They're going to be very happy that you came to the job that day. They're going to be very happy to see you coming because you pledged to let love fulfill its healing function through you today. What a beautiful purpose. What a beautiful purpose for the day. What a beautiful goal for the day. You know, and how good do you think your day is going to be when love worked through you all day, healing and loving people? You're going to have a great day. That's going to be a red letter good day. A day when you let love work through you, healing others all day long. To share love's function is to share love's joy. And love's confidence is with you as you say, truth will correct all errors in my mind. And I will rest in the love who is myself. Beautiful. Okay, last two paragraphs. This is telling us how to practice this idea. So first, the Course in Miracles gives you the idea, the concept, the philosophy, and then it says, here's how you can use it. Here's the practical application of it. In whatever is going on in your day-to-day. No exceptions. Whatever's happening in your day-to-day, this is how you can use it, such that your day is full of miracles of love and power and healing. Beautiful. Now, then it says in paragraph, still paragraph 10. So, then let love lead you gently to the truth which will envelop you and give you peace so deep and peace so tranquil that you will return to the familiar world reluctantly. If I invite truth to come in and correct all the errors in my mind, then truth will envelop me so completely, it will give me peace so deep and tranquil that I will return to the familiar world reluctantly. Now that sounds like a pretty good meditation, don't you think? If you have problems with meditation, this is a way to meditate that's going to fill you, envelop you with a peace so deep and tranquil that you will return to the familiar world reluctantly. Wow, okay, sounds great. Maybe I'll try it sometime. Now, last paragraph. And yet, you will be glad to look upon this world, the familiar world. Why? You'll be glad to come back to the familiar world because you will bring with you the promise of the changes which the truth that goes with you will carry to the world. And the promise of the changes which the truth that goes with you will carry to the world, they will increase with every gift you give of 5 small minutes. And with every gift of 5 small minutes, the errors which surround the world will be corrected as you let those errors that surround the world be corrected in your mind. As you let the errors be corrected in your mind for 5 minutes, then all the errors which surround the world will also be corrected.
Wow.
In every 5 minutes that you spend asking truth to enter your mind and to correct your errors of fear and doubt and guilt. So, given that that's what's going on in those small few 5 minutes, then you may not want to forget your function today. Given what happens when you do this for 5 minutes, don't forget your function today. Each time you tell yourself with confidence, truth will correct all errors in my mind, you are speaking for all the world, and you are speaking for the love and the Spirit who would release the world as it would set you free. Don't forget your function today. Your function today is to allow the errors which surround the world to be corrected. Every time you, for 5 short minutes, invite truth into your mind to correct the errors in your mind. The errors that are making you afraid, the errors that are making you feel doubt, the errors that are telling you that life is a bitch and then you die. That is your function today. That's your job, to allow your own errors to be corrected in your mind so that the errors that surround the world can also be corrected. Not bad for a function, eh? Not bad for a job, eh? What's your job? Well, I allow the errors that surround the world to be corrected as I allow truth to correct the errors in my own mind. That's my job. I allow the errors that surround the world to be corrected. That's my job. And the benefits are fantastic. The perks, the bennies are the best. That retirement plan, the best, no better. Best retirement plan ever is your real function, your real job as a healer and a teacher for humanity, helping humanity to wake up from the dream, from the belief in sin, which has made the world dark, which has brought suffering upon the world. Wow. Okay, well, that's that. I love it. Okay, questions or comments? We got a few more minutes before the end. Questions or comments? How does it feel to hear these ideas? What did I hear?
Well, it's kind of more simple than I would think whenever I'm trying to figure stuff out. I'm like, how am I going to do this? What do I do next? How is this going to work? How is that? If what I hear it saying now is you're just going to go, just let truth in.
Exactly.
And then I don't have to stress and worry and make plan A, B, and C, and D.
That's right. All you have to do is let truth in, which is there already anyway.
Well, that's true.
And then it does it all for you.
Yeah.
It makes your errors, your problems vanish. It's so simple. It's so simple that we just don't believe it because it's too simple, it's too easy, you know. And for people who learn from birth that you were meant to suffer and die, it's like, well, it can't be that. Can't be that easy. I'm meant to suffer and die. So that's our problem in accepting, you know, the simple and saving truth. You know, beautiful.
Well, and to pick up on Mindy's point, it also ties back to yesterday's lesson, something we heard. A healed mind does not plan.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
A healed mind
Mm-hmm.
asks for the truth and the plan to be shown to it. And where would you have me go? What would you have me do? What would you have me say, and to whom?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Exactly. Yeah. We don't, you know, the truth doesn't need defense. We don't have to make a plan. You know, truth does it all for us. The truth that, by the way, is already there. You know. And why is it that we have to invite the truth to correct the errors in our mind? It's all, and when it's already there, because God placed it within us, right? We have to ask again because, you know, our asking is our declaration that we want the truth instead of what we learned from the past that we were meant to suffer and die.
Our invitation to hear the truth.
Exactly. We have to, our invitation to listen to the truth, our invitation to truth to enter our mind is just saying, you know, I want to listen to truth instead of what I learned in the past about how I was meant to suffer and die. Because I'm guilty, somehow. You know. So, beautiful. Yeah, so I don't have to plan. When I invite truth in, I don't have to plan. I don't have to figure anything out. I don't have to fix anything myself. Thank God. I mean, because my track record for fixing stuff is really bad. Right? But all I have to do is invite the truth in my mind that's already there, and then truth just undoes all my errors, which means it undoes all that I learned from the past that taught me that I was meant to suffer and to die because I'm guilty. It's just so simple. It's the most simple, easy thing that ever was. It's as simple as breathing is to the body. Okay, maybe we'll try it sometime. All right. Okay, great. So all of the classes that I do, including the Monday, every Monday, 7 p.m. in person and on Facebook here at the Rocky Mountain Miracle Center, and the classes that Greg and I do, Transforming Relationships Through A Course in Miracles, they're all listed. The times and places are all listed in the body of this video, so check that out. Thank you guys for coming out to the Miracle Center. I really appreciate you being here and helping to bring the Miracle Center back to life after COVID. Yay! COVID did not kill the Miracle Center. And I appreciate you guys watching and joining your loving energy to strengthen these ideas. The Course says that the more who believe an idea, the stronger it becomes. So when you're joining and listening to these ideas, you've made them stronger for all the world. And you've allowed your errors to be corrected in your own mind, which also allows the errors that surround the earth to be corrected along with yours. So good job. Way to fulfill your function on a whatever day of the week you're watching this. I appreciate you guys. Let's just do a closing 2-minute integration meditation where we just take the ideas and feel them.
Basket.
Oh, the basket. Where we just allow the ideas to seep down from our mind. Beautiful. So just breathe and just notice how you feel right now, having heard these ideas. And just breathe and feel. How does it feel to hear these ideas in your mind, in your heart, in your body? I want you to bring to your awareness a situation in which you are not experiencing peace. a situation or a relationship where you're experiencing what feels like suffering, whether it's a one-time situation or if it's a chronic thing, a life thing. And take a breath. And I want you to now tell yourself, this problem is an error in my mind that I have not invited truth in to correct for me. I want you to tell yourself, this problem, this suffering, is not coming as punishment for some kind of sin. This problem is coming from an error, a false perception that I accepted in my mind and have believed. This problem, this suffering, is coming from something I learned in the past that wasn't true. Like I was meant to suffer and to die. Like suffering is natural, like I'm guilty. This problem is coming from something I learned in the past that wasn't true, that made me afraid, that made me ashamed. This problem, this suffering, is not me being punished for a sin. It's an error that's calling for correction. And now let's call on truth. Let's invite truth in to our minds, which is the same as saying invite love in to our minds to correct the error that produced this suffering. Truth, I invite you into my mind to correct the errors in my mind that have produced this problem, this lack of peace, this suffering, this problem. And tell yourself, truth will correct all errors in my mind. Truth, come, correct the errors in my mind. Love, what is the truth? Love, what is the truth here, now? Love, correct the errors in my mind. And I want you to now see or imagine how when you, as you are inviting truth and love to enter your mind to correct the errors in your mind, see how that is now going out around the world, undoing the errors that surround the earth, as the errors in your own mind are corrected. And I want you to hear the whole world saying, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for releasing us from the errors in your mind. Thank you. Thank you for fulfilling your function. And tell yourself, this is my function, this is my real job. And I am ready to take my place among the healers of the world. And breathe. Beautiful. And to that we say amen. All right, you guys, and take a breath and breathe. And just take a breath and yawn and stretch. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. Anybody returning to the familiar world reluctantly after that?
Always.
Always. Me too. Me too. I love it.
You know, it's like Barbie, as long as she was in the doll world, everything was okay. But when she went into the real world, she forgot who she was and everything.
Yes. Oh, I love it. That's great. Well, I appreciate you guys being here. I appreciate you guys for joining.
My friend, my
And
neighbor,
may
she's
the
coming.
force be with you.